Welcome to Hot Sour Sparkles. I'm Stephen Davis, and this is a 8-minute movie review of Fate of the Furious, about the family. And as always, I'll start off with a spoiler-free section before moving into spoilers, where I'll give my top 8 favorite and least favorite things about the film. But to begin with, this is a crazy, action-packed, fun Fast and Furious movie. If you've enjoyed the last few of them, you'll definitely enjoy this one. If you saw the commercial like, this movie looks crazy, stupid action, that's what this movie is. That's what it's always going to be. At this point, they're pretty much superheroes. But it was a cool movie. It's a movie that's 2 hours and 40 minutes long that feels like an hour and a half. There's just enough action, enough set pieces, enough going on at all times. I mean, there's a few moments, a few times where it slows down a little bit and a little dialogue isn't the greatest in the world, but enough to get you to the next action piece, what this movie's all about. Most of this movie is in the commercials. The submarine scene is really cool. The cars, zombie cars that horde around everywhere and attack or she controls, and I didn't care for that particular action sequence of events. It wasn't my thing, but overall it was a fun action movie. It is exactly what the Fast and Furious movies have always been. Family and crazy over-top action. Well, I can't say always been, because the first one definitely wasn't that. It was an action movie, but it was about races. And this one, or the last several, have not been really about that. But it was still a fun movie. If you need to go sit down, turn your brain off for a little while, and enjoy an action flick, this is the one to go do it with. So, for my official rating for this, I'm going to give it matinee, because it's a cool theater movie. Again, if the last few haven't been your cup of tea, then I wouldn't suggest it there. Maybe one day sit down, Redbox or something. But my official review is matinee. So let's go ahead and move over into spoilers, which I'll start with the one thing they didn't actually show in the commercials. Give me a second. Click, 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 click. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Is the very beginning of the movie, which I'm surprised, which actually starts off with a race. My number one thing that I enjoyed about this movie is it actually starts off with a pretty cool race. Dominic Toretto, for his cousin, gets in beef with some guy who has the fastest car on there, and he's like, "Oh, you always know it's not about the car you drive, it's about who's driving." He's like, "Alright, I want you to drive his car against this guy's car who's got the fastest car in Cuba." It's like, okay, well, they rip off the side of this car, the sides of metal, they start pulling things out of it, make it as light as possible, hook Nos up in this thing, and he attempts to try to beat this guy in this car. And then the Nos goes and it catches on fire, and then he has to flip the car backwards and he drives backwards to the finish line, and of course he wins. But, yeah, that was just the beginning. And that was him and Letty on their honeymoon. Number 2, the actor Tyrese, who plays Roman, I thought he was great in this movie. I think he was probably one of the best parts of this movie. I think all his lines, I enjoyed him. I thought he was very funny in this movie. Number 3 was technically Jason Statham, and number 4 is The Rock. Jason Statham and The Rock. The two scenes they had are Jason Statham on the plane and The Rock and Jason Statham in the prison. These were awesome scenes. The Rock and Jason Statham, you see it in the commercial, they're going back and forth, and then the cell's open. And then Statham takes out a guard, opens the other cell, and then everything opens, and there's a huge prison fight, and Statham escapes, and Rock's right behind him, and they get stopped, and it's just over. The action piece in that, the fighting, The Rock is essentially a superhero. He's just tearing fools up. He's just he might as well be Hercules. He played Hercules, he's still Hercules in this movie. But it was a fun action set to see, and then Jason Statham towards the end of the movie, to get you to like him more, to accept that he's probably going to be a mainstay in this series from now on, since, he did kill Han, essentially, is they get Jason Statham. The only other thing that showed this movie was Dom's baby. And this is why he's turned bad on everybody. So, he gets Statham's mother and then pretends to kill Statham. So Statham can use a jetpack, fly onto the plane that Charlize Theron's bad guy character is controlling and holding the baby hostage. And then there's an awesome fight scene in there which Statham takes out everybody almost single-handedly. At this point, I actually don't remember where his brother went. I mean, he was with him, which they bring him back, the brother. Yeah, I don't know. They went to the plane together, and you just see Statham just tearing up fools with a baby. So that was fun to watch. And let's see, number 5. Charlize Theron is a villain. I think she was a great villain. She was essentially a Bond villain. A little disappointing we didn't get to see her actually do a whole lot on this inside of a plane. Like, all right, I'm typing on the computer. Things are happening. I'm a super awesome hacker named Cypher Rage. Not Rage, just Cypher. That's from a different movie. Bad movie. But yeah, I think that was the 5 things I enjoyed about it. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of cool set pieces. The 3 things I didn't like about the movie is the zombie cars. I mentioned that in the non-spoilers. I didn't care for the zombie cars. Thought it was way too much, way too crazy, way too unbelievable. Not like everything in this movie isn't unbelievable, but that was just way out there. Not my thing. Number 2 thing I didn't like about this movie, which is also still in the zombie car area, is that they're trying to take out this limo. Had to be a better way to take out this limo. This is just over the top crazy. But the limo, the armored limo, has a minigun that comes out the top of it. Because all armored limos have miniguns. I mean, that's just a normal thing for cars to have, is a minigun on top of it. Still, a little too much for me. And lastly, number 3, which is my big thing, is that pretty much this whole movie was in the commercials. No, they don't spoil the one thing they try to leave a mystery, and you don't see the very beginning of the movie. And you know what, for all I know, maybe it was. Maybe I just missed that commercial. But essentially everything's in the commercials. You see most of the submarine scene, most of the cool parts of the submarine scene, the cars. So it's just there. But in general, this was a fun movie. One of the things I liked and didn't like, this was a fun movie that you should go see if you like Fast and Furious. The only other character I didn't mention was Scott Eastwood. I like Scott Eastwood. No point for him to be in this movie, but I like him. Maybe he'll be back. But I think that is it. So if you want to reach me, you can do that at BJJ Gamer. If you want to reach the show, you can do that at Hot Sour Sparkles. If you like the video at all, please throw a like on there. If you like these movies, if you like this review, please leave a comment down below if you caught that obscure reference. And as always, for more videos, please subscribe. But until next time, be well.